Voicemail episode, the Mets stink, and we want to hear your guys' opinions. Starting off hot with the Mets stink in the first 5 seconds, but it's true, they're playing some awful baseball, so we asked you guys to hit us up on Instagram. If you're not following us, at Mets'd over on IG, you'll get a chance to be involved in the next voicemail episode, because I promise you, even if things turn around for the Mets, we will have another losing streak at some point, and we want to hear from the people. Make sure you're subscribed to Mets'd over on YouTube. A lot of new people watching the last episode. I see some Braves fans, some Dodgers fans, Twins fans, I think, were in our mentions too. It was absolutely insane, but thank you for joining. Click that subscribe button. And if you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, drop us a rating, drop us a review, download and subscribe. James, you put out the message. You got some voicemails. Where are we starting?
Lots of voicemails. Thank you guys for all of the feedback on the voicemails. That's great. When the Mets have bad losing streaks, we love to do a voicemail episode. So like every other month, because that's the way the Mets seasons usually go.
I've had 2 8-game losing streaks in the last 2 months of play, so...
And again, just to let you guys know, usually we favor the voicemails that tend to be a little bit shorter. We get some 4 or 5 minute voicemails. That's not a voicemail, that's a podcast.
It's just your show now.
That's it. And some people do have the voice notes too. I can't stand that, but let's see. I want to start off with a familiar face. I want to start with Connor.
Yeah, give it to Q.
Connor gets in here. Love Conrad. Here it comes.
I imagine he's going to be angry.
I feel like, honestly, I think it might be even cute, but let's see.
Okay.
What's up, boys? I don't know if you can tell. I'm recording this from the bathroom while taking a dump because it has been quite literally what the Mets season has been so far. It's an absolute disaster. I don't see how Mendoza, unless he pulls a miracle out of his ass, makes it through. I don't see how he makes it to Memorial Day, let alone to May. It's an absolute disaster. There's no power on this team. There's no oomph. The pitching's actually been pretty good, but you can only hold on for so long. You gotta score runs in order to win. And overall, just an absolute dumpster fire of a season. I've taken Mark's approach where I've just not been watching games, and it's still frustrating me. So that approach almost doesn't work. All right, have a good one.
I mean, I don't know who's struggling more, the Mets or Connor right there. He was breathing heavy on the toilet.
I was going to say, maybe if you guys are leaving us voicemails from the toilet, maybe just leave that out in the future. But Connor, you're allowed to disclose. Thank you, Conrad. That made me laugh.
I love Connor. That was a good one. And I mean, yeah, it's similar conversations that we had yesterday, which is just basically about how there's no urgency right now. They stink. Carlos Mendoza is probably going to be on the chopping block at some point just because you can't fire the players again during the middle of the season. They did that in the offseason. I am looking at some of the earliest firings in MLB history. Cal Ripken Sr. was fired 6 games into the season in 1987, had a Hall of Fame son. Phil Garner, RIP, he was fired in 2000 after starting 0-6. So there is, I mean, it doesn't happen often, but it has happened where you can get canned early. And I am still leaning towards firing Carlos Mendoza like tomorrow. So
it feels like there's no way. Yeah, after they put their foot in the ground to keep him after last season, it feels like not. But it doesn't mean they can't at some point this year.
They definitely. And again, like if they get swept this weekend, I don't know if he makes it to Citi Field.
You got another one?
Yeah, I got one. This one's coming in from Hadley. Shout out Hadley. Oh, I picked up in the middle. Hold on. Here we go, Hadley.
Well, boys, the opening day Mets fooled us again. This team is not good. I know Juan Soto's not playing. I don't think he makes much of a difference at this point. This team just cannot find ways to win games. Instead, we constantly find ways to lose. That's on Carlos Mendoza. I think you guys have said it. I agree. He's got to go. There's nothing he offers at this point. There's literally nothing to hang your hat on. He's preached about relationships and interpersonal things, and you don't even see that anymore. So bye-bye, Carlos Mendoza. I think it's time to fire him. Let's go, Mets.
Brandon Hyde was fired on May 17th last year, by the way.
Okay, yeah. So, again, I think that's the range, 6 weeks into the season. That's kind of what you automatically get.
I will say, too, talking about Juan Soto and the impact he makes in this lineup, we talked about it a lot last year, and it was kind of a revelation we had like towards when the skid was really starting to get ugly. Remember we went through and we took out Juan Soto's offense from this team and where they ended up being in terms of barrels and quality of contact and just even getting on base? It's the same thing that's happening right now. So even though it might feel worse because Juan Soto physically isn't playing, like we literally can't have him, we're having this scenario that we kind of talked about last year, even though it's with different players, where the barrel rates are just not good enough, the quality of at-bats are just not good enough, the pitch selection's not good enough. on the offensive side, it feels like this team struggles massively if they don't have that cog in the middle of the order right there, which I think Juan Soto will probably be back for the homestand, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I think they're maybe pushing him to get back for the homestand, but like the power is a great equalizer in baseball. Like a home run can get you out of a slump very quickly. At least it can bail your team out. Like think about all of these games that while the Mets couldn't score, most of this losing streak has been very close games, at least through the middle innings until the wheels fell off at the end. One home run at any time in any of these games, literally one solo home run would have dramatically changed the feeling of all of these games. You just can't get one, but it's that missing that oomph is the issue right now. But next, going to Emily, who I think's been on every single voicemail episode we've ever had. So shout out
Here we go, Emily. Here we go.
I'm bored and I'm pissed off because usually being a Mets fan doesn't mean that we're winning, but at least that there's something going on, that I give a shit, that I'm enjoying the masochism of this fandom. But instead, I don't know who these players are really as a team. They haven't even really given me a chance to get to know them before they've deeply disappointed me. And it's hard to even care. I feel like there's no roller coaster. There's nothing. It's just bad. I don't know. I hope they give me a reason to give a shit.
That's fair.
I feel bad. I felt the dejection in Emily's voice there, but I think there's actually something to that as to how the Mets fans are getting after this losing streak. Like you have the animals on Twitter who are down in the dumps, freaking out about whatever they're freaking out about every single day anyway. But like, I think the real fans, there is more of a disconnect to a team with all new players like this. Like even I was scrolling today for a picture for Francisco Lindor for a thumbnail for a video on my channel, and I was scrolling on the site that you get pictures from sometimes, and there was it was a picture that was tagged for Francisco Lindor, but it was of Jorge Polanco.
Oh my God.
It's just like it does feel like right now, like it's like, yeah, I don't really know, like a lot of people don't really know these players. If you're not freaks of nature watching West Coast games and having 4 games on at once like Mark and I do like on the average weeknight, like you're like, yeah, I don't really know that much about Bo Bichette. I don't know much about Jorge Polanco. I don't really know Marcus Semien. Like these are all these are strangers.
Yeah, for a lot of fans, this is their first exposure to these guys, truthfully. Like, you knew that Bo Bichette was a big signing coming in. You knew that Jorge Polanco was a signing coming in. Even Luis Robert has been great. You knew who these guys were, but you didn't actually know what the player was going to give you, and the expectation was that they're going to perform. So when they underperform, it feels even worse because you don't know anything about these guys. They haven't been here. They have no track record with this team. I think as a fan, it makes it kind of similar to what she said about how, like, let me know when I can start giving a shit again. It's tough to get behind guys you have no connection to, and the only connection right now is shit play.
And the sad thing is that in life and everything, not just baseball, like first impressions are a huge deal.
Huge.
And this is the first impression of this team right now is like, oh, this sucks.
It's like one of the worst first impressions ever.
I could ever imagine. But also remember the 2018 first impression, the Mickey Callaway Mets.
Yeah, I mean, those Mets were just absolutely, they were chugging, weren't they, early in the season?
11-1.
Playing good baseball. Mickey Callaway was making double switches every game. He was proactive. Where have I seen that before? A proactive manager early in the season, and then as his tenure goes on and on, making less and less in-game decisions that make any sort of sense.
No, I can't. I don't even want to say Mick's name anymore in the show.
No, I don't. We probably shouldn't be talking about him too much. All right, I'll grab the next one here. 52 seconds is a little long. Sorry, Joe. We got to keep. Alex, you're killing me. We got to keep it 2 minutes. Oh
50,
my God.
52 is not crazy. I think under a minute is reasonable. Under 30 seconds, you're basically guaranteed to get the play.
I like this name, Paulo Toto. 27 seconds. Professional. Let's hear what Paulo's got for us.
All things are falling at one time. Lindor's yearly slump, Soto and Polanco are hurt, and Bichette wasn't hitting. He's warming up now. People were expecting to be good for us hasn't, like Beatty and Vientos. The managing for Mendoza is awful. His bullpen decision's awful. There's no leader in the clubhouse, and it looks like they are just there to be paid, not to win. No vibe, and they just look bored. And the last pitching has been pretty good. I am not worried about the playoffs, but I am worried how long this can go for.
I mean, excellent message.
I like that one. Straight to business. No messing around.
No messing around.
Yeah.
Not first time, long time caller. It
Pure
was
content.
Here's all the issues that I have with this team. And to be fair, I think he's hit the nail on the head. We've all know what the problems are with this team right now. I saw a clip from our people over at Foul Territory that had Jim Duquette on. He was talking about how a lot of new players seem to be kind of taken back a little bit by how Mets fans and everything are reacting to this slow start. This is something that David Stearns talked about after the trade deadline, wanting to be very conscious of the players that he brought in and making sure that they were able to be fit for New York. Do we think that that's a real possibility that they're taken back right now by this reaction?
I don't know. I saw that clip. I'm not sure if I totally agree with it. I think maybe when you're in it and you're being booed this hard this early in the season, like getting swept, but you're getting swept off your own field by the Athletics. I don't know. Like maybe you don't get booed in Toronto if that happens, but
I don't even think Bo is the guy who would have a problem with it because he got
Bo's
booed
the opposite.
early on and he was like, "I'm playing bad. I get it."
I think Bo was one of the biggest guys who was with that new David Stearns ethos where it's like, yeah, I want to get guys who can handle whatever's going to happen in the big city, but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like I don't know. So I always question that where it's like, is that line has gone around before. I think Trevor Mays even said it to us that the players know there is an image around the Mets team, organization, everything. But
Big
sometimes
TikTok for us.
yeah, good TikTok for us back in the day. I always wonder if how much the professional athletes truly feel that.
Probably
'Cause it has to be case by case.
it's definitely a case by case basis, and I can you can even think of guys in scenarios where you know that they can hear the noise, or you've heard afterwards that they hear the noise. And again, we even got that little nugget from Adam Ottavino of Nimmo heard about the rumblings of Lindor, and then the video got leaked, and then he apparently got a little upset. These guys are still humans at the end of the day, and I think that's the thing that makes it tough in New York is that it's really hard to be a baseball robot. And when things aren't going wrong, it's really easy to be able to hear all the noise around you.
Kratz, the world has a cord problem, wires everywhere. It's 2026, and it is time to get a
Ridge Wallet 5-in-1. It's not a wallet, it's a charger. Look at this thing. It sticks to your phone. You push the button, it charges your phone while you can charge 2 different items at the same time. Oh, and don't forget, while it's charging, you got a little lean-to, John. That'll help it sit right there. Appreciate your Ridge Wallet. This is so nice.
which is great for me if I'm at the airport, I'm watching a game, I can charge 5 devices and then I can just watch something on the phone. Of course, they still have the wallets that are money too, and we know the code. It's nice and simple. It's FOUL, FOUL. 1 thing to pack, 5 ways to power. You can find Ridge's power bank at Best Buy, or our listeners can get 10% off at ridge.com by using code FOUL at checkout. Head to ridge.com, use code FOUL, and you're all set. After your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support FT and tell them we sent you.
Yeah, but it's also, I think that's also fair. If a player talks about the noise impacting them, it's hard to hold that against them too dramatically.
But I don't love hearing it. Keep that to yourself.
For sure. But again, that's whether or not that's true. That's just something that Jim Duquette said. We're not positive.
True. Yeah, I don't really think that is the issue right now. I think they're playing bad baseball.
No, that's fine. So here's next one coming up here from Andrew. Nice, quick, easy, 19 seconds.
Oh, let's go, Andrew. Well done. Good etiquette on the voicemail.
Who do you think gets called up first, Christian Scott or Jonah Tong? And do you think either of them get called up before, or I guess if Carlos Mendoza gets fired? Which one do you think would happen first? Either him getting fired or one of them being called up?
That's an interesting question because I don't actually think there's any relation to the two because the pitching hasn't been the problem.
There's definitely no relation to the two, but I think he was just posing it as what do you think happens first? How do we see the timeline working itself out?
Carlos Mendoza fired is my pick. I don't see the Mets need to bring up Christian Scott right now, and definitely not Jonah Tong. We know he pitched a little bit better, but then lost it late in his latest start. I think he struck out, 10 guys, but only got through 4 innings?
I think he struck out even 9 of them in the 4 innings.
Okay, yeah. So he got knocked around a little bit towards the end. There's just no need to bring one of these guys up right now, which is why I lean for the Mendoza firing, which is so morbid. But I don't know, James, you're going to be the nice guy here?
Well, I was interested when we were going to go through these voicemails of what the spread would be of our listeners, how negative people would be, who was trying to be positive, who was with the fire Mendoza, who was I wanted to get a sense. And maybe it's just been the small sample so far, but a lot of bad starting out. I think
I don't think it helps too that I've been shouting from the rooftops that he's got to go.
Yeah, you're leading that charge, but I don't know. Scott's looked really good in AAA. I know he got blown up in his first start, but the fastball has been missing bats in the zone. The new splitter, it seems like he's figuring out the command of it and where he's trying to locate against lefties. His last start was really good. And Tong, I know we blew up late, but the color right now, I'll pitch here now for a second in the sea of negative voicemails. We always talk about how there's different kinds of colors. There's different intents of a color. Like a lot of things get tags of color, but like some colors are like true colors, cut fastball. Some are kind of baby sliders. Where Tong's colors at right now, to me, I'm seeing a baby slider because I'm seeing him work it mostly to right-handed batters and work at something that's supposed to be off the edge to them, not trying to get something going to bear in on a lefty. Because Tong's changeup is so good against the lefties. He's good against lefties. It's
That's
the
not his
right
problem.
That's what I'm saying. Like he is the guy, and I hate the term, but he's the guy that actually has the famed reverse splits at the moment. So the intent that he's throwing his cutter is the way a right-handed pitcher you'd expect to throw a slider. Later in counts, breaking outside away from right-handed batters. But he also has a few little things that pop up on the pitch chart that look closer to his four-seam fastball and further away from where the cutter gets tagged. That might be the true cutter. But again, I think he needs a lot of time to work this stuff out. I think there's still plenty of upside. The downside's now getting more apparent in our faces if you can't figure out spin. But like Scott to me seems ahead of Tong, and Scott versus Mendoza right now, you could probably set a nice line on it.
That is an electric line. Yeah, I think also like with Tong too, he was rushed up last year. The Mets I don't think had any intention of ever bringing him up, and then they had to. So like the timeline I think is still the same, even though Jonah Tong already made his MLB debut. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Scott made his 2 years ago.
Yeah, like I think you just give the bump to Scott anyway.
Definitely. He probably would naturally be ahead of him in line. Is that a beep?
Yeah, what's going on with these rooms. It's getting hot right now, and I had to get a little cold air on me.
All right, you got one?
Yeah, we're gonna go Rich L.
Rich
Hey,
L.
Mark. Hey, James. It's Rich from Connecticut. Tall guy, long hair. You know who I am.
Love Rich.
Love Rich.
That's how I feel. I'm trying to make words, and they're not coming. You know, it's April 16th. The season isn't over. The season is absolutely not over 16 days into April. It's never been over 16 days into April unless, you're the Rockies or the White Sox. Catching strays. But man, it is not easy to get through these shitty stretches and not feel like the sky is falling. It's not. They'll be fine. But good God, it's rough. I listen to you guys in the car all the time heading to work. I really appreciate what you're doing. And I hope I get to see y'all at a Mets game soon.
I hope to see Rich at a Met game too.
I can almost guarantee we're going to wind up seeing Rich at a Met game, but I think that
good clear voice too on that message.
Beautiful, amazing voice, almost like I heard it before. But that's the kind of thing that I think encapsulates actually what's going on with his team right now. And we've tried to get this through. At least maybe I have more than Mark over here. But it feels hellish right now, but it's nowhere close to being over. I think Tacomo's been a very big doomer on Twitter recently, and I think just
Doom gets click.
He's got to get clicks, of course.
Yeah.
No shame in it whatsoever. But
I put out the Mendoza tweet daily, and it's just like 2,000 likes. You want some?
I'm saying you're always a doomer. Oh, maybe we should. When should we do the Terry Collins tweet?
Ooh,
we kind of missed that today. It should have been this morning.
Yeah, but if they lose tomorrow,
Saturday morning. Maybe save it for Monday if they lose the
it could
series.
be a Monday morning thing. Yeah,
we have to do our annual Terry. This team needs a Terry Collins pep talk. Copy pasta. But again, it's just the baseball season is so long. We forgot last April very quickly.
So quickly.
And again, maybe that we just feel this way because each of the Mets' last 2 seasons were such extremes that maybe we are even overlooking how important these April games are more than we ever should. But at the same time, it's just there's too much baseball left to be played to be feeling as negative as I think the mass majority of Mets fans feel right now, as doom and gloom as it seems.
Yeah, my negativity comes from our worries about not shaking off last season. I'm seeing a lot of the same, which is where I think a lot of Mets fans find themselves, which is why there's a little bit more doom. And again, I almost think that the doom isn't even necessarily, and again, for this is the people listening to Mets'd Up, not the animals. I think a lot of the doom comes from something needs to change. We need a change right now, and I do think that just happens to be Carlos Mendoza for a lot of people because it's the easy scapegoat. We know that with the manager in and year out. We did with Buck Showalter, to be fair to him. So, I think that people don't think the season's over. I think people are worried that we might hold on to trying the same thing too long, and then we're going to look back and be like, shit, it's June 1st and we're 10 games under 500. I think that's the fear for some people. Not that the season's over, that we might let this continue too long.
Especially just because we watched it continue. And at least a lot of people out there probably felt like it would just naturally be different because of how many of the players were different. That's something that also people are really still very, very, very upset about as well. But
What's the Mets record right now?
it's 7-11.
7-11. Okay, that sounds about right. So since August 1st of last year, the Mets are 28-43.
7-12.
Okay, 28-44.
Yeah, it's one of the worst teams in baseball.
That's horrendous.
That's very, 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 very bad.
Like, and that there has to be someone held accountable. That's where I think all Mets fans stand.
Sure, and again, theoretically, was some of the players that are gone now, but whether that was fair or not, now it's just something changed. But got another one here. Our guy Brandon.
Oh, Brandon.
Good afternoon, Mark and James. Glad we're having this today. I need to rant a little.
Where is he?
Then I'll ask a question. I agree with you. This is the same shit we saw last year, and it's even worse. The games we're losing, we're not even competitive. We're like losing the games before they start, which is terrible. The bats are terrible. The fielding is terrible.
Is he at a Dave & Buster's?
I love Lindor.
Are we going to get copyrighted on
What's
YouTube for
up
this?
his ass? But my question is
hope
for
not.
you. How the hell do we get out of this? Do we have to make a trade? Do we fire Mendoza? And who do we replace with him? But I think maybe it's time. Do we bring Beltran in or Joe Girardi? I don't know. But tell me what you think. But I'm over this shit. But let's hope we can turn it around.
Is he in the hallway now?
Mendoza will be gone and never seen again. Keep it up, guys. Love you.
Brandon, love you too. Sorry
you
to
too.
talk through your message, but it was chaos.
Love you too, Brandon. I think that was the mall. I'm going to just put that out there. I think that was the mall. But I'll say this.
I have a couple things definitely we want to talk about. Let you go first.
If the Mets replace Carlos Mendoza with Joe Girardi in season, it's the end of the Mets'd podcast. We're closing the doors.
Oh, don't say that.
If Joe Girardi is the
Don't
manager
say
of this,
that when we have
if he's the manager of this team in June, there's no more podcast.
you can't.
There will
say
be a lot
that
of content actually, so maybe I take that
because
back.
I'm worried that we have an owner that has gotten involved before, and that is definitely a name he knows. That's my worry.
Do you think there's still a level of involvement?
Yes.
Because I don't know, I kind of alluded to it in the last show because Salmon kind of put that in. Nah, he didn't. Because Will Salmon says they decided to keep Carlos Mendoza after last season, so you can't hold last season against him because the team made that decision. Now we're only assessing what's happened this year. But also at the same time, the whole coaching staff is different. I think Brandon's comment about who actually even would come in.
That's
and again,
what I wanted to address.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about another man's job, but we kind of have to right now. It's a question. This is kind of where we're at. But it was interesting that Kai Correa was made the bench coach, and there were like the teeny tiny whispers about he's really respected in managerial circles, but he's also a guy who has not been a Major League Baseball player, and he's been a Major League bench, but this is his first time actually in a bench coach role. So it would be a very, very inexperienced hire. He has been a full-time manager in the minor leagues. I'm pretty sure.
There's also something sometimes a little bit strange to me about like a guy that was considered to be like up in managerial circles. And this is again not to talk poorly on Kai Correa. This is why I don't necessarily know if he will be the replacement if that has to be made. His own team got a new manager. They went to the college baseball ranks to go get one. That's an interesting move to me. Also, like
he's been with the Guardians more recently.
Wait, really? I thought he was with the Giants more recently. That was only with Gabe Kapler?
He actually was the interim manager for the last 3 games when the Giants fired Gabe Kapler in the last week of the season.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I thought he had been there still. Okay, so in Cleveland, then that's a little bit different. But I still probably would want to be up for a manager job over a bench coach job, unless you thought it was just such a free position because you knew Carlos Mendoza was dead man walking. I think we're more likely in the craziest world to see Carlos Mendoza or JD Martinez be the head coach, the manager.
Well, I mean, I think it's interesting when JD Martinez got brought into this organization, but it was when things weren't like that. Like this losing streak began after that, but it's just
if
having
Mark
another.
Vientos didn't get hits those days, you wouldn't have even really known that JD Martinez got brought in.
Yeah, it is just nice having a guy like JD in this organization. Again, people like the comments you get from the section of Mets Twitter online, where it's like JD Martinez the hitting coach, Carlos Beltran the manager. It's like, I don't know, what are we talking about?
I think it's cool in a fairy tale world to be like
you do that baseball the show.
Yeah, MLB the show. You'd be like Carlos Beltran could be my manager. Yeah, JD Martinez hitting coach. I'm sure my guys are going to develop great.
Yeah,
we don't know if these guys can manage or do that to any sort of degree at that major league level.
No, and I loved how Gary, Keith, and Ron talked about this. I think it was game on Sunday. We referenced it after Phil Gardner's passing, just about how difficult this job is. I think
We've had Murphy talk to us about it too.
Definitely. Like, we've gone past the point where I believe that was like the big conversation in baseball 5 years ago, like the role of the manager is overblown. But now I think we've gone too far past it, where now I think it's very underrated what the manager can do on a daily basis, especially just still considering how many big personalities are usually in one room together, how many people from very different walks of life, and how many different kinds of complicated things you have to communicate to every single player in this team on a regular basis. Like, it's an incredibly difficult job. You need to have the right temperament to do it. I think Mendoza has the right temperament to do it, but it's just the communication disconnect right now. The lack of gel is what's concerning me at the moment.
Yeah, and it's been a lingering issue, which is part of the problem, which does make me worried about Carlos Mendoza. And then in terms of like how do we fix it? I mean, Juan Soto coming back is going to help. When you get one of the best hitters in baseball back into a lineup, it will change how this lineup feels. There's no doubt about it. We saw them play without Juan Soto. They looked like a much better team. So excuses are excuses, and everybody's got them. But like when Soto comes back, I do expect the offense to be better. I'm not going to say it's going to be good, but it will be better.
I think it'll be significantly better. Again, like Hershey said last night, like the pitching is good. The pitching is something that can derail a season. Like if the offense is bad, hitting comes and goes. Like that's how baseball works. That's how it's worked for 100 years, like 150 years. Like
the Yankees should have just gotten swept by the Angels because they couldn't hit the Angels pitching. Like,
but the Angels also couldn't catch the ball. Like tonight, the Colorado Rockies have given up 2 hard hit balls to the Astros through 8 innings. Your boy Chase Dolander, after an opener, came in with 2 guys on in the first inning. They brought him in a high pressure situation when they tried to save him a high pressure situation by using an opener ahead of him.
Get him out of Coors, man. That guy would be a frontline starter.
I was in Houston tonight.
Let's trade for him. Mark Vientos for Chase Dolander. Who says no?
Brand said that too. Do we need to make a trade? Probably not now, but I mean, we'll see in a couple months.
Yeah, we'll have to find out what the actual holes are on this roster. It's probably still a little bit too early to say that there's a hole just yet.
Yeah, jeez. You got one?
Yeah, I'll find another one. Let's go. I like the way that this name's looking. 135. That's a little too long. 34 seconds from Mike Laverde. Laverde.
Hey guys, I'm going to try to make this quick. This offense is just atrocious. Hitting coach, director of Major League Hitting, steroids, it doesn't matter. I don't think anything's going to fix this team. They have to lead the league in fastballs taken and 3-1 counts, 3-2 counts. It's just despicable. It's literally like pulling teeth watching these games, watching this offense. I feel like I blink an eye and the inning's over. It's just unbelievable. With that said, I'll be at the game on Wednesday. Let's go Mets.
God, Mets fans are the fucking best.
That's why we're the best. I'll be at that game too. Nice.
I think I'm going to be Tuesday for sure. Wednesday will be a TBD.
All right, so we want to see swing rate on fastballs in the heart of the zone. I know that's a fair one.
Yeah, heart of the zone. But he said he wanted 3-1 counts, 3-0, 3-1 counts. He wanted to see specifically.
So let's look at fastballs. Then should I keep heart or should I kill heart? And should we do ahead in the count?
I think you have to look heart because I mean, like if a pitcher makes a pitcher's pitch 3-0, who cares if you took it? You shouldn't be swinging at that pitch ever.
All right, I'm gonna do all.
I will say I looked
swing rate
on Fangraphs the other night because when the Mets had those putrid at bats. I think they're like right around league average in terms of like how they're performing in certain counts. The biggest issue I think was that they're just, again, not barreling the baseball. But you've watched the games. They hit the ball on the ground 1,000,000 times.
So the Mets have the 12th highest swing rate in baseball on fastballs. I'm doing 4-seamers and sinkers / 2-seamers. Fastballs in the heart of the zone with the 12th highest swing rate. So a tiny bit better than league average.
Can you do it for the count?
All right, now I could do it for the count. Do you want me to keep heart and count?
Heart and count. Do like 2-0, 3-1.
I'll do anytime ahead in the count.
Yes, perfect. There you go. Any time ahead in the count.
Ahead in count hitter, fastballs in the heart of the zone, both 4-seamers and 2-seamers / sinkers.
Yes.
So, and we're going on swing rate.
Wait,
let me...
Because that will tell us if the Mets are swinging at pitches.
Yes, it's all we can do is make the right decision. What happens after that? Okay, this one we're low.
Okay,
this one we're down to 22nd, but we've only even seen 156 total of those pitches.
What's like the difference between us and like 15?
So
like
we've actually seen the 4th most. Wow, this is talk about this. This is a Kirkjian stat.
Yes,
the Mets have seen the 4th most fastballs in the heart of the zone while ahead in the count in baseball, and they've swung at them the 22nd most. And the difference between us at 22nd and the Twins at 15 is 3 full percentage points.
That's huge.
It is somewhat similar right there. And the league average, again, 70.6. We are at 67.9.
So yeah, that is a big difference. The Mets are definitely
There's
being
something.
uber patient. So shout out you, Mike. Right? Mike was his name.
It's not, maybe not even being uber patient, but it's like you're missing the selective aggressiveness.
They're not attacking the pitches that they should, which is something that we thought that this team actually was going to do a little bit better than last year. Clearly not.
And I think this is the kind of thing where you don't do it when you're doing bad, and you will be doing it when you're hitting well.
Everyone takes war hacks when the team's playing well.
That's what I'm saying right now. So you want to hear the teams that are top in this stat so far this season. It's the Padres, who are hitting the crap out of the ball every single night.
Except for
the Dodgers. Yeah, except Tatis. The Dodgers, the guards, who I've been telling you on the windup, is right now barreling the ball up, some of the most in all of baseball.
Yeah, they stink though.
And then the Rangers, and then the Blue Jays and the Giants. So it's not being at the top of this isn't indicative of anything special.
True, the Giants are one of the worst offenses in baseball. One of the only ones that are worse than the Mets right now.
Dodgers one of the worst records in baseball. Actually, I think they tied the Mets record today, so I'll take that one back. But I got the next one here. So it's by Cassian. This one is actually over a minute, but I'm giving it to her. She sent us a nice message. Thanks for what you guys do. You've made the season more manageable.
Okay, very nice. We got a couple more of these, so.
Yeah, and we're also giving preference to women because I can't even believe a woman would ever listen to the show. So whenever we get a voicemail from an engaged woman listener, I'm like, yes, you appreciate you.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, listen to me curse.
Hey y'all, this is Cassie, and I'm sending in from Missouri, a place where it's already hard enough to be a Mets fan, even if we aren't dog shit. I think my biggest gripe with this season, aside from the fact that Francisco Lindor apparently has the fucking yips or something, these mental lapses are just insane and brutal. It's just the fact that it's not even fun to watch. Like, I'm just not even having a good time. At this point, I'm tuning in, I'm watching a first couple innings and then just checking out. I think at this point, whether or not it is Mendoza's fault, there has to be a major change. This team can't be playing like this. Not with the payroll, not with the expectations. At the end of the day, I was just hoping for some fun baseball, and having to sit here and watch this. To be clear, I'm not a doomer. I don't think that, the season's over. I don't think that we're cooked, but golly, it's fucking brutal.
Yeah, it is.
It's very rare that you get like 1 minute of a person speaking where you get a golly and you get a dog shit.
Yeah, that's...
Those two things don't usually come in the same stanzas.
I like to think because of how much we say dog shit that's just snuck into her brain a little bit there.
That was a great voicemail by Cassian. Incredible.
Yeah,
Missouri.
I did not know we had fans in Missouri. Shout out. I didn't know the Mets fans really had many fans in Missouri. A few more messages here, James?
Yeah, we'll get a couple more in here.
I'm thinking, Anthony, you even know it's too long. I'm sorry, bud. Can't do it to you. This guy's name's Mark. It's 51 seconds. I'm going to give it to Mark. He's still under
That's
the
fair.
minute.
You got it.
What's up, Mark and James? I'll keep this one relatively short.
Relatively.
Mendoza looks like he has no idea what he's doing. I don't know how much longer he has. Lindor is my favorite player, and I glaze him 24/7, but something's wrong with him. I mean, he's not there 100% every night ready to go. He keeps making all these mistakes, and I don't know, just like nobody's hitting. The guys we need to step up aren't stepping up. And another note, what is going on with these lower body injuries? Soto's out with the calf. Polanco's got this Achilles leg thing going on that he needs to be on the IL. And Jared Young just tore his meniscus. I don't know. Something to look out for. But have a great one. Let's go Mets.
Yeah, we forgot to mention last night that Jared Young tore his meniscus.
Yeah, the ghost of Ray Ramirez is coming back.
I think baseball, you get a lot of lower body injuries just because it's the sport that keeps you the most still and then the most sudden.
Yes.
I talk about this with my dad all the time. My dad gets so mad with the ticky-tack injuries in baseball. It's probably the thing that grinds his gears the most. I got funny stats about Lindor. So you want to hear his splits as a Met between March and April and then for the rest of the season?
Yeah, hit me with them.
So March and April as a Met, 664 plate appearances. The slash line is 233, 322, 396.
That's what a lot of people think Francisco Lindor's tenure as a Met has been.
First impressions. Rest of season, his slash line for every single year he's been with the Met, just outside the months of March and April. It's over 2,700 plate appearances, 265, 341, 472.
That'll play.
So Francisco Lindor literally goes from an all-star caliber hitter to one of the best hitters in the league, just spread in his career thus far between April and the rest of the season.
It's insane, the difference that happens for him. Spring training's got to start in January for him, maybe.
Like, I don't know what it is. Like, we're seeing it across the league again. A guy like Julio Rodriguez, he does this every single year. Jazz Chisholm has done this many times in his career. Like, Robinson Cano is famous for doing this every single year. Like, it's kind of frustrating that this will happen every single year to a certain subset of players.
Yeah, I don't really understand why or how or what the reasoning is, but it is a pattern, and I think it's legit.
It's just funny that it's also funny, like, us as baseball fans. Like, oh, yeah, that guy's bad April, so he'll be fine.
Yeah, even just me and you completely shaking off Lindor being useless for a month a year.
But the difference is right now where the mentals are. And it's kind of keeping me up at night a little bit. Not keeping me up at night, but I'm just like, I really do hope he's okay.
I won't say them, but I'm having thoughts creep into my head that I've never had before about Francisco Lindor.
But then I literally look at the bat speeds up across the board. Like, I'm ready for him to get hot. I know it's going to happen, but I really am excited to see it happen.
Here's what I'll say, and I understand the frustration people have with Francisco Lindor right now. We got a little more context as to why he was smiling on the Ohtani thing. That didn't bother me in the first place anyway, but Ohtani changed up his pitch timing in the windup. So Lindor kind of gave him the smile of like, you little son of a bitch, you sneaky bastard. Like, you got me. So
Ohtani was doing that a lot yesterday.
I mean, Ohtani's a damn good pitcher. That's what you do. When you're in control, you can kind of just rock and vibe and do what you want. They talked about that. There's not many pitchers, and Ron talked about it as well, that just kind of rock and throw. Like, that's just something that we miss in the game. But back to Lindor, I think that for Lindor, a lot of times when he is pressing, it's almost the overtly positive, almost anxious smile in a way that we see. And I think that drives people insane. I don't know if that's fair or not for fans to necessarily get mad at it, but I do think that seems to be how Francisco Lindor deals with stress and struggling and pressing. It almost seems like he tries to be even more positive, which sometimes I wish he would be a little more of a dick and be like, fuck, like, let's lock in, let's get it done.
But also at the same time, you always just got to be yourself.
Of course, that's the biggest thing.
If that's how you get yourself out of these struggles, and we've seen Francisco Lindor do that time and time again as a player on the Mets team, he's probably had
every year.
He's probably had the best consecutive 22, 23, 24, 25. Probably some of the best consecutive 4 seasons in Mets history as a position player.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It's like him or Darryl Strawberry.
Piazza.
Yeah, like
David Wright.
David Wright. Like, that's the crew of what Francisco Lindor has done for the last 4 years as a Met. So, again, it's giving him the benefit of the doubt because he has earned that.
Yes, he definitely has. Again, creeping in a little bit, but still not there.
I have a 19-second one here from Jack.
Perfect. Is that going to be our last one?
Hey, one more each.
Okay.
Here you go. Here's Jack. 19 seconds. 12 seconds, actually. Damn, nice job, Jack. Good brief.
Well done.
Hey, Mark and James. Love the podcast. Love all the work you guys do. Quick question. If you were to manage the Mets, what are 3 things you would do right now to help us start winning some games?
Ooh, good question.
I think the one thing, and just, again, managerially, I don't know if there's something you can do. Tonight, I hope it's happening right now. Thursday night in Chicago, you get the guys together for a group dinner. I know usually.
I think the other thing is at that group dinner, everyone needs to bond over having a shot of Malort, which is the most vile tasting alcohol on the planet. Everyone needs to have one, unless you're not participating in alcohol, unless you're sober.
Yes, unless you're sober. But I think sometimes, a lot of times, I mean, I think just from talking to people in the game, like something usually the players organize, like you get a team dinner together. But I think this might be a time where something like this might be necessary. I don't care if it's corny. I don't care if it's awkward. You have to do that. 2, and I've been saying this, I think that this Mets team, based on how topsy-turvy their plate appearances are, oh my God, Francisco Lindor is a part of my take tomorrow.
What?
Wow.
Holy shit. What time?
They posted the video today. So that's maybe like, all right, I understand now. Been focused on the field.
Fuck! God damn it!
I don't even follow these people. It just popped up on the top of my Twitter feed. That's crazy.
I mean, I want to listen.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna listen to that now.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's annoying. But where are we going with that? All right,
that got you red.
Because I'm just like, this is something that people are going to get mad at him about.
Mega mad.
The fact that it's an off day and his publicist is like, "Hey, you want to go to the #1 sports podcast in the world?"
Can you even believe that he's like in the same office as some of those guys that work at Barstool?
Place is horrific. I mean, is this the first time that we've ever had Eskimo Brothers with the #1 sports podcast in the world?
I think so. I think this is our first Eskimo Bros for a podcast.
Podcast Bros. But next thing I do, all right, we'll push that one off again. Francisco Lindor did another huge public appearance. Let's be very, very tame and normal about this. But all right, moving on. I think Carlos Mendoza has to write up a lineup, and he has to keep that same lineup for 4 or 5 days in a row.
For the homestand.
I just think when you're struggling like this, you want to give players the sense of continuity, the sense of consistency. You don't want to have to come to the ballpark every single day and figure out where you are in the lineup. You want to get there and know where you are in the lineup. It's just maybe this is maybe I've never been in a major league locker room. I never will be. But maybe this is something that we're overstating how important that could be. But I see a lot of other teams in the league do it this way, and we're one of the few who does it our way. And that maybe to me is like a little strange.
Yeah, third thing I think I would do. I think you got to move Francisco Alvarez up in the order. I think he's gonna just let him be a middle of the order guy now. He's in this version of this Mets team. I think he's got to hit lower than fifth, and I think that
he's been fifth here and there.
I think that's where he has to be, though. I don't think he can be much lower than that. And then, I do think 8-9 has to be Simeon Bench. They are the two worst hitters at the time of recording for this Mets roster. And then, I guess, Beatty 7, just because he gives us a little more pop if he does make contact with it, which he's struggling with. Maybe the also third thing is get Brett Beatty and Carson Bench back to their old swing. Shout out Rob Colonna. Give me a little DM today. Apparently, Brett Beatty's made a ton of changes to his swing that were not seen in spring and also not seen at all last year, which... Why are we doing that? Why are we making changes? It was working.
Yeah, Rob sent me a big article he did for Mets'd. Rob's a great writer. He really likes to get nitty-gritty in with the numbers about everything the Mets are doing wrong. It's like team-wide this year, where what's wrong, what's going to change, and what's actually worrisome. So great article. You guys should check that out. But I'm going to scroll through Beatty's swing stuff right now.
Yeah, apparently there's... do you want me to just read you what he told me?
Yeah.
So
this will be Rob's voicemail.
Yeah, it's going to be Rob's voicemail. He said, have you looked into Beatty's swing change data? I just finished an article and breaking it down. Happy to send it later today when it publishes if you want. I realize I didn't answer him, but he completely changed everything. He closed his stance a ton. He moved his intercept point way up, adjusted his bat tilt slightly, and none of the shit seems to be working. I can understand in theory why you'd make these changes for a guy who had a good bat speed, but I don't think he has the pitch recognition to actually make it work. I like that. I mean, listen, I don't know why we would close his stance, especially for someone who, again, doesn't have the pitch recognition. We know that makes it harder.
So it seems like just looking at this data quickly now, it looks like he went back to a lot of what he was doing in 2024.
Why?
I don't know.
Why? Why would we go back to the old Brett Beatty?
It's not all the way there, but it's more similar to that than anything he was doing in his pre-swing setup or the way he was attacking the ball last year.
That's the worst news I could have gotten.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe could have not having hitting coaches and all these guys possibly have going to private coaches have really disrupted maybe some of what was meant to be happening, and maybe could this be like trial by fire where maybe the Mets would fail, come back to us?
Yeah, I don't know.
I posted on Twitter this morning. I was up at 8 o'clock in the morning just diving deep into Mets numbers because I'm a sick individual. Carson Bench right now has probably the most bizarre batting data I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, we were talking about it this morning.
So Carson Bench right now, on average, this is deep hitting dynamics right here. Carson Bench is attack direction. So the average direction the ball leaves his bat on average this season is 10 degrees to the opposite field.
And for context, 0 is going to be right down the middle. You're hitting it right
Straight
over
up
second base. So he's now pointed 10 degrees towards left field, his attack angle.
Yes, that is, of every qualified hitter in the league, the second most opposite field attack direction in all the leagues. Tied with Christian Yelich, who, funny, and then Justin Crawford is the only other one who's been in some memes, some foolish baseball with that.
Yes.
At the same time, of all of the players who have that opposite field attack direction, all of their intercept points are behind the front of home plate, the top of home plate, because when you're looking, can you make some visuals right now? I'm trying to look around.
Yeah, here's a piece of paper.
I have a seashell wedding invitation.
I would say here's a piece of paper. Home plate. The front of home plate is going to be right here.
Yeah.
The point is going to be the bottom part of this paper. Really bad for the audio listeners right now. Carson Bench is hitting the ball in front of home plate. So above where I'm holding my finger right now, where it is, that's where he's hitting it. Usually when you hit the ball out in front of the plate like that, you were looking to pull the baseball. You're usually a guy who's getting out in front of it. Like you see the best power hitters in baseball hit it there. But Carson Bench is hitting that to the opposite field, which I've almost never seen before.
But what that's telling me is that Carson Bench right now is doing a swing where the knob of his bat is coming through the zone first.
Yes.
And when the knob of your bat's coming through the zone first, that means now it's all up to your wrist to get the bat head through. And you always hear hitters talk about using the wrist to get the bat head through, but that's usually
time.
That's usually in conjunction, like with your trunk and your torso and your lower body as you twist your hips around. You get your shoulders into it. But it seems like Carson Bench right now is swinging, and then his bat comes afterwards. The only other player with an opposite field attack direction of at least 7 degrees who's hitting the ball at least 1 inch out in front of home plate is Sal Stewart, who has disgusting raw power right now. His average
crazy
attack.
bat speed.
No, same as Carson Bench.
Really?
Sal Stewart does not have crazy bat speed.
I
He's
thought
not
he
average
took
bat
war
speed.
hacks.
I think he swings very hard, but it's also a relatively short swing, which Bench has as well. Bench is one of the hardest short swings in the league, too. Again, right now, his hitting setup is one of the most bizarre in baseball, but also because, again, we're really nerding out right now. Bench's attack direction, 10 degrees to the opposite field. His attack angle is 0 degrees. So on average, he's hitting balls that go basically right here and right to the ground. Sal Stewart has the opposite field attack direction. He's hitting the ball well out far in front of the plate, 6 inches in front of the plate. But his attack angle is up, and that's why he's getting so much power right now. And also power to the opposite field. Also, the ballpark he plays in helps that. But Carson Bench right now, it's messy. I don't know what is going on with his swing.
Yeah, we were talking to a friend of the podcast who's got some experience hitting, and he was talking about how, like, it's a rare moment where basically you kind of want that front shoulder open up a little bit for Bench so he can get to some pull side power right now, because the way that he is attacking the baseball is not sustainable for success.
Yes, and that's something that, again, there's reports about him going back to his college hitting coach in the offseason.
Which why?
When the Mets had a vacuum at the top of their hitting program. So maybe that's happened. Maybe some of the other these guys have done that. We don't know what's going on. We're still kind of waiting to figure out what our new hitting instructors are like. It's early in the season. Not a good start, but
no.
There's definitely some troubling signs. I'm going to take another pass through that Rob article because he sent that to us last night. I saw that after I finished the podcast, and I was dejected, ready for bed. But
yeah, I got done at 3 a.m. I was done. One more, James, pick one.
Send this out. Richie Strack, he has sent us one voicemail in the past, and it seemed like it was a drunk text. It was a love you boys at 11:26. Oh, AM, not PM. I thought it was AM for a second.
I mean, it could be drunk.
Still hilarious, yeah. That feels like it happened the day like Peter had been signed, December 4th, 11:30 a.m.
December 4th, 11:30 a.m.
Feels like.
When did Soto sign?
It was
what
this
year.
year.
Is that? Oh, it's this year? Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to hit Richie. 16 seconds, send us home.
Send us home, Rich.
Yo, what's going on, guys? I hear all this Carlos Mendoza talk, and not a lot of talk about who could possibly replace him. Just wondering what your thoughts on that. Maybe internal, like a Kai Correa. External. Also, thank you, James, for putting me on to Jose Soriano for fantasy. Love you, brother.
Let's
go.
A
lot of love from Richie.
A lot of love from Richie. Richie's a nice guy. Again, I think we have mostly answered that one, but the very heavy Carlos Mendoza voicemails from people. That seems to be the big thing on the mind of the Mets'd Up listeners.
You can blame me for that one.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit on you.
Yeah, a little bit on me. That's fine. I stand by my take. I don't think he's here till on May 1st, but we'll see. You know what? Hopefully he is, because that means maybe the Mets are winning baseball games, because if they continue to lose, I don't know how you keep them around. That's it. Thank you guys for sending in your voicemails. We appreciate you. Again, if you want to get involved in the next one, at Mets'd Up over on Instagram. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google. Drop us a rating, drop us a review, download, and subscribe. You can follow James on social media at
James Shiano.
I'm Draftneck Mark. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
Peace out, guys. Let's go Mets.